people of the internet. We're going to talk a little bit about mental illness today because I'm a little heated right now. So pretty much, so what has gotten me so heated is, okay, so I came across an article that, in the town that I grew up in, like right down the street from the house I grew up in, and there's a bridge, and apparently this morning a girl jumped off of it, and that's really sad and really disheartening. You know, like, obviously my grandma shared it, so I read the comments under the article. And there's a lot of people joking around, whatever. People don't take mental illness seriously. That's something, like, I already knew. Like, I know that for a fact. But, there were some people that, like, you know, were commenting, like, oh, this is, like, sickening the way people are talking on this thread and, like, whatever. So, you know, I didn't feel the need at that point to comment it. Anyway. So I continue to scroll down the comments, and I see this one comment, and it says suicide attempt with a question mark. Like, yes, like, of course that's a suicide attempt. Like, it is the middle of February, it's like 30 degrees outside, we're in New Jersey, you're jumping out off of a bridge into the canal, which is, I believe, 8 feet deep. Yes, like, of course, that's a yes. So this woman comments under that in reply to his question. She says, no, something to the effect, it was like a long-ish comment, so I cannot say word for word, something to the effect of, no, more like an attention attempt, because if someone really wants to commit suicide, they will. So this is more of like attention-seeking behavior. So at this point, I now feel the need to comment. Because if you guys have, like, watched my previous videos, or you guys know me, like, I'm gonna put this up on my Facebook, so, like, if you're watching it from my Facebook, like, if you guys know me, like, you know, like, I have attempted suicide, and, like, I'm all about, like, fighting the, stigma of mental illness. I've been, like, very open with my struggles of, like, depression, anxiety, like, everything that I've struggled with throughout my life, like, I've been very open with. Because I want to kind of get rid of this stigma towards mental illness, because it's ridiculous, that it's seen as something that the person can control, or something that they choose, or any of the other ridiculous things that people think about it, because it's not. I don't choose to be depressed. That is the last thing I would choose. You know, I would never choose to think about suicide on a daily basis. Like, that's just not the life I would have chosen for myself. So that being said, back to the original story. Sorry for my little tangent there. So she comments that, like, no, it's an attention attempt. So I comment under that, and I say, no, it's a suicide attempt. She jumped off of a bridge in the middle of February. And if someone hadn't seen her jump and call the police, they wouldn't have found her and she would have died of hypothermia. So, and it's not always common knowledge. Like, I don't know, they didn't release her age or anything. So it's not always common knowledge about, like, you know, the bridge has to be a certain height, or, like, the water has to be, like, a certain deepness to, like, not everyone knows that. So it's like, you know, to say that just because this person didn't die, now they're no longer sick, they are attention seeking, is just mind-blowing and ridiculous to me. So I continued that statement by saying, you know, obviously, if you're going to jump off of a bridge in the middle of February with the chance that no one's going to see and no one's going to find you and that you could die, there's obviously a serious mental illness problem here. This person is sick, not attention seeking. So they didn't reply back to me or anything that yet, as of yet. Like, I started making this video right after I wrote that. So, because I'm just very, very heated about this, because I don't understand the attention seeking premise. So, like, when I tried to commit suicide back in 2013, because I wasn't successful, that makes me now attention seeking, not sick. But if I had succeeded, I would be sick. I don't get it, because I would have succeeded. I took enough to succeed. The only reason I am still here is because I called 911 on myself. Because I had a moment of clarity that if I didn't have, I would be dead. And, like, the same thing with, like, self-harm. Like, any normal person could not take a sharp anything, put it to their skin, and harm themselves for attention. You have to be sick. There is no way someone without a mental illness would even think to do that. I don't get it. I don't understand why people get this attention-seeking label. Because it tells people that they're not sick and that they don't need treatment and that they don't need to get help and that they don't need medication and they don't need anything, and then that is how in the long run people end up dying. That's why like suicide numbers get so high, because people don't get help, or people get turned away from help because they're not sick enough. And I don't understand. I don't get it. You know, I have been very fortunate and very lucky that, like, you know, I have gotten fantastic treatment and I am miles away from where I started, but you know, it's a battle every day, and when I see things like this, it just makes me sad for society, because you wouldn't tell someone with, like, diabetes that because they didn't die from their illness, that they're attention seeking because they have to take their blood sugar. You know, like, they pull out, you pulled out that tester again. You're seeking attention. You just want people to pay attention to you. You don't actually need to check your blood sugar. How ridiculous does that sound? Like, I don't get it. But with that being said, I think that's all I have to say today in this video. So